Hello folks and welcome back. In this video I just want to go through the declaration package so you guys are clear as to what exactly I did in terms of putting all the documents together, who I sent it into, and the kind of format and layout that I used, with obviously using like the cover letters and a few other little things that you might want to consider when sending in all the documents you want to send into these guys as like a complete package to these different institutions. Okay, so again, it's not exhaustive. What I left out here was the withdrawal of consent, which you might want to consider also putting in, as well as any other documents for that matter that you wish to put in to this package that you can then have bound and then sent in to these given agencies. So we'll just work through this because this is kind of like the pinnacle of ironing out all the creases and refining the processes involved with the use of stamps and the way we should be autographing and signing at the bottom, the kind of the layout, the templates. So you can make sure that when you do put this package together, it is like all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, basically. All right, so draw your attention out to the document so you can see this is otherwise the cover letter to the actual package, which you can see, which we'll work through, specifically just the declarations. Obviously, we've gone through the other documents in other modules, but you can see here with the whole package, I put in a cover letter. And so this cover letter, I actually scanned in and sent the original with the stamp in with it, if that makes sense. Okay, and so all the rest of these documents were otherwise certified true copies that were sent in and not the originals. All right, so you can just imagine these are certified true copies of the original documents, and just the cover letter I printed, signed, and it was the original, okay, with just a little stamp, just to, get it noticed so they pay attention, and because it's the first thing that they'll be seeing when they receive these documents in this package, so you want to make the most kind of impact with these guys. So obviously you can see here the normal template, obviously put in my kind of flag with my kind of name differentiated with the obviously Alexander George being the living underneath in gold, and underneath in all caps my surname, which is in silver, which kind of depicts that kind of relationship in the two different entities that have been set up. And obviously stated plain simple English, now time jurisdiction. Again, you can put whatever else you want in there just to clarify certain things. And just notice we have, this template seems to be really good that I've created, which is obviously keeping the debtor on the left-hand side, but also listing underneath the instruments that they've registered to us, that we registered with them, within their system, like your national insurance number, social security card, wherever you are in the world, birth certificate number, extract, passport number. I mean, you could even put in there your driver's license number or anything else for that matter, which is part of their fiction system. Then obviously on the right hand side, we got our principal beneficiary creditor status and the necessary documents that we've registered ourselves, like the Live Life claim, certificate of identity, and the UCC1 on the right hand side. All right, so I'll just read through this real quick. Some of this you'll see obviously in other letters, so it's quite generic when addressing what needs to be done with these guys sometimes. So you will find that you do repeat yourself in a lot of these documents because we are all in the same situation. So to all the living men and women with significant control, a warm and cordial welcome to you. I hope this letter finds you and your staff fit and healthy and fit for purpose. I'm sure we've had this sentence many times. As the principal in the bifurcated title encumbered by the SETI KV Trust in the name of the Father, full capitals, Middleditch, we request that the following documents are received as a notice and order to have what is requested acknowledged, filed, and fulfilled. Now you might want to use, instead of order, you might want to think of maybe using command, or also putting in command, because command is otherwise a pure word, it's genuine, it hasn't got the poison prefixes and suffixes. So you might want to refer or think about maybe just putting in command, for that matter, replacing either order or putting it in as well as a command, because when you command someone, or I command thee, it's a very powerful word that can be used, which isn't corruptible. So, the following documents include, I put in my sovereignty declaration as like a contents, put in the pages as part of this whole package, court order to revest title, vesting deed, live life claim, UCC1 financing statement, and security agreement. Each document is to be treated with significance, full stop. Each is self-explanatory and will lead the reader to take the necessary actions to either A, fulfill what is requested, or B, pass on to a competent agent who can fulfill what is requested, full stop. The court order to revest title encompasses and references all documents under it from pages 12 to 26. This is very important and must be prioritised. So it's kind of emphasis there on the court order. Any communications regarding the processing of these requests are to be sent registered post at the address listed above, and alternatively via email at my email address. I'll just put down here the respondents. These are the institutions that I sent a copy of this package to: Bank of England, Government Legal Department, HM Land Registry, HM Treasury, World Bank, International Monetary Fund, United Nations, and the Vatican. And the Vatican's otherwise, I think, changed their name, or the Vatican Bank rather, is changed their name to the Institute for Religious Works. Okay, so when sending in, you might want to look at titling it to the Institute for Religious Works. But the Vatican obviously encompasses that whole sovereign state. So there's a good 8 institutions that I sent copies of these declarations to. And obviously, at the bottom, warmest regards. Again, this is what I found is the best way to autograph at the bottom of the page. Again, you can use, there's many different methods of, putting in your signature or autograph. But this is just one that I found that really kind of emphasizes this fact that we know what's going on, separating the two legal entities, one lawful entity, which is obviously our living name, and the legal entity, which is obviously the deceased estate, putting in the PP, which means on behalf of, okay, and then obviously the date, and then the seal is stamped in there. So you definitely want to consider this when sending it in terms of the cover letter. And you also want to, in terms of binding, I purchased a binder basically, which you can bind, a ring binder machine, which costs I think like £30-40 on Amazon. I don't know if you can see up close, it's just one of those ring binders, as you can see there. So it's got like a laminate plastic cover on the front to protect it, and obviously another one on the back. And so you can have all of your documents in this package ring bound or bounded with the ring making machine, the ring binder machine, so it's nice and neat. Okay, so you have this obviously in an A4 envelope, preferably brown, that you can order and put this package in as it is within this nice and neat bounded document package. Okay, so it's all together. Again, this is just one method. This is what I used. You can also use the conventional brass rivets with the ribbon, but I find especially something as important as this, it's often very good to have it bound and kind of with a plastic cover, so it's protected against any spillage or anything else for that matter. And it's also good obviously to have a copy of all your important documents also in one of these that you can either keep in various places, obviously in your house, but also in your car when you're traveling, or especially when you are traveling, in your suitcase or carrier luggage. So you can just pull out a nice neat document like this with all the relevant, like live life claim, certificate of identity, your declaration, and this, that and the other, which can otherwise be served to someone to show them that this is who I am and these are my papers, so respect my T's and C's. Thank you very much.